Welcome to another exciting edition of The Ravens Flock.
Hello, everyone. It has been a long time.
Yes, indeed. Another week has gone by. Another week of exciting nerd news, and lots of stuff are good. Other stuff are, well, not so good, but they need to be talked about, especially with some names that are rightfully being dragged into the mud.
We got plenty of comedy and some tragedy for you, because that's the beauty of theater.
Absolutely. I'm your host, Jose Casabona, also host of Wrestle Rewind. Joining me on my left is the host of Los Amigos Play, Mr. Angel Mendez.
Hello, everyone. Thank you kindly, and I hope that you enjoy the show.
And joining me on my right is the host of the Black Files, the second man that's behind the camera on Wrestle Rewind, the man who puts in the man hours behind all the videos that we produce on our channel every single week, Mr. Juan Arouse.
I'm so fucking high right now.
And of course, we are simulcasting on youtube.com/TheRavensFlock and twitch.tv/TheRavensFlock online. If you're watching from either platforms, hit the subscribe or follow button on the bottom right corner of your screen.
Let's point at Angel's knee.
Yes.
My incredibly powerful. It is I, the bronze kneecap.
I always thought you were the bee's knees, man.
No, actually, I have a very bad experience with bees and wasps in general. They don't like me.
I always thought you were the bee's knees, man.
Jose, Angel, you boys need to remember the first rule of Marvel Comics. The Wasp is always dead.
Oh!
Why you gotta do this?
Ah, damn, Juan, I like
Because
the
I'm
Wasp.
going for the juggler, okay?
Well, I refuse. I have the sun on my shirt, so I'm going to be nice and bright today.
And folks, if you have any questions or comments related to what we're talking about, go ahead and drop them, and we will answer them while we're live.
As we do.
Real quick, I want to say shout out to Steph the Alternate, who's already live on the chat. Hey up, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight, Steph, and thank you for joining us earlier today on Los Amigos Play as we ran through Japanese anime The Game.
Yeah!
All of the animes by all of the studios in one beautiful title. Thank you kindly. Your company is, as usual, very much appreciated. Hope that you enjoy this show as much as you enjoyed the previous one. Same to all of our beloved listeners.
The Persona 5 Royal is certainly a hell of a trip. What's another hell of a trip is the moves that Marvel Studios has been making. We've recently just saw one of the best Marvel films this year, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, not too long ago.
There's opinions that people are having on it, but surprisingly enough, it's still doing well considering the situations we're in.
Considering the hardships I had to deal with, it has become to receive a surprisingly positive reception. Whether it will actually make up its massive budget, that is supposedly still well on its way. We'll hope it gets there to the point. But overall, as a proper start to the Phase 4, yeah, pretty good.
Pretty good. And it's not just the movies. It's also the mini shows that they've been releasing on Disney Plus.
Yep, we're going ahead along with it. We're just going to jump in.
Yep. WandaVision, Captain America and the Winter Soldier. We might as well call that now.
Yeah, it's Captain Falcon and the Sad Man.
And of course, they just wrapped up the first season of Loki because they've hinted that that there will be a second season.
We was Kangs and shit.
Of course, there's also the animated series What If, which people are loving left and right.
Oh yeah,
there's wacky wildness and there's
writing quality go up with every episode.
It's so weird. We're in such a weird little roller coaster ride going on with it.
Yeah.
But I know what you guys are thinking. You're thinking it. You're thinking it. They're thinking it. I'm gonna go ahead and say it.
It's in our
title. We need more Jeremy Renner in our lives.
It's in our title for the show.
You know he's never going away. He is invincible.
Of course.
He's the heart of the team.
He's the heart of the team.
He flipped so many houses. He flipped himself a permanent position in the Marvel roster because, yes, it appears that Mr. Renner, Archer Man, he gets free whack when he goes to Taco Bell. He's really famous, you know. He has decided to return to the big screen, this time following up an admittedly rather controversial title in the comics itself, the Hawkeye main comic book series.
Oh, yes.
It's funny because we've been known for a while that it's actually been coming out, but the biggest criticism that folks were worried about was the introduction of the character Kate Bishop, who becomes the second Hawkeye in the Marvel Comics universe, being portrayed by Haley Steinfeld, best known for the TV series True Grit, for being in the Pitch Perfect movies, so we know she can sing.
And for voicing Spider-Gwen in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
And she's also was in probably one of the best Transformers movies out there, Bumblebee.
That's right.
So, yeah, go freaking figure.
You know it was the good one because it was the one that had Steve Blum in it for 5 seconds.
Yep, and didn't have nearly as much Michael Bay Bayhem in it. So
you gotta restrain.
you gotta dial it back. And you've got John Cena as a villain. Or rather, not really villain, more like
it's John Cena.
It's just antagonist.
He's not a babyface.
He can't be a heel even if he tried to anymore.
Try Peacemaker in the Suicide Squad.
That is the greatest hero of all time.
No!
He loves peace, and he will kill as many men, women, and children as necessary.
No, it's terrible.
Hey,
I'm not gonna spoil you. Don't
He
worry.
does it in the name of peace.
I will eat you. Yeah.
Now,
No, like he's just probably the most logical guy in the Transformers franchise. You're literally taking advice from a group of aliens calling themselves Decepticons.
Bruh.
Do you know how dumb that is?
Now, for those of
Most
you who
common
actually
sense.
follow the comic book stories, it is understandable that many people are somewhat skeptical. See, when the run of Hawkeye came out, they were trying to push Miss Bishop a little too hard, and that unfortunately came up as incredibly shitty writing, as in, let's sideline Hawkeye, talk shit to him, and have her do everything better than him. As you can imagine, putting down an older hero just to prop up a new one does not a very interesting character make.
Thankfully,
Judging from what we've seen from the trailers,
the trailer that was released earlier this week gave some hope.
Yes,
Not only
yes,
did it give hope, it gave me and Jose beautiful nostalgia vibes.
No, it
I
gave you
know.
boners, don't lie
No.
to me.
Listen.
Yeah, no, you're right. It gave us boners because they actually shot and had it take place in our hometown, New York City.
That's right.
Yeah!
man.
And
We
they're
are
having
going to
it like-
these motherfuckers' home turf.
And they actually shot in New York City instead of like going to Atlanta or
and it's going to be
Quebec.
during Christmas time.
Yep, like Christmas time in New York. It's such a novel movie setting thing that's like, okay, you can't help but love that shit.
Angel, if you
Seeing
haven't gone
the Rock-
ice skating over in Manhattan, over in the Rockefeller Center in Manhattan, then you have not had lived a December New York experience.
Sadly, the one time I went to New York was just before the snow started falling, so I missed that opportunity. But next time I swing by there, I will be make sure to take your advice.
Seeing the Rockettes from the Radio City Music Hall, seeing the Christmas Day parades, the decorations all over the place, all over Fifth Avenue,
I have a
all
small
over
question.
Queens too, at Flushing Meadows Park.
Hang on.
You would love it. What's
Angel?
up? Angel has an
Small
opinion.
question.
Oh, question.
Iron Man 3.
Yes.
Where did it took place? Where was it filmed?
Oh,
And Christmas.
no,
No, I mean, what city?
okay,
okay, it
it
was
took
filmed in
place in different locations. You
No, I
had
mean, in the movie itself, within the movie.
Okay,
Where-
with
different
movie,
locations.
They went to
Malibu?
Miami, Malibu,
the climax took place in Miami.
Mhm.
There was a spot in Tennessee.
Rose Hill, Tennessee.
Here's the fun part, though. I went to the Miami place where they filmed it. It's just literally a construction site they rented out, and they use it to move shipping containers from one.
Yeah.
boat to another.
Oh,
And
nice.
I'm like, I am getting some very weird deja vu while I'm driving this boat.
That's because you actually went up to this joint. But
Remember that time they made a Punisher movie that was like 3 blocks away from here?
Now, something I do
Actually,
want
I
to
do
bring up,
remember.
and folks, keep in mind, this is a spoiler, so
course.
if you don't want to hear this part, please turn away. I do
spoiler
need to,
for what?
well, the spoiler from the end of the Black Widow movie.
Oh, that's right.
Okay.
Okay,
She died. It was terrible.
it was
You knew that part.
Well, no, not that part, but the end credit scene, the stinger that will
yes.
play that might play into the Hawkeye the
So
series.
Maybe.
let the audience know what happened during the stinger.
All right, so Yelena Belova, who is
The
the
blonde younger
the
sister
blonde
played
younger-
by Florence Pugh from in the Black Widow movie.
she goes up to the cemetery and pays her respects to Natasha, and
Who's already dead.
who's already dead. And also, she has a nice doggo. That's a nice. But
Yeah,
anyways,
doggo.
and she was just standing there crying, and then she was interrupted by Valentina.
Who is like a shady, shadowy government character
You may
played
know
by
her.
Julie Louis-Dreyfus
You may know
in
her as the lady who took the not Captain America from Captain Falcon. and
John
told him,
Walker.
You know what? Listen, I know your ideas won't misguided, but you kick a lot of ass. We could use people like that in our team. And he's like, fuck yeah.
And speaking of kicking ass, apparently she's also part of. Yelena's also part of Valentina's team, and
Maybe.
Valentina has given her Yelena her next target,
Clint Barton himself.
Hawkeye.
It appears that this organization likes to hire morally ambiguous individuals with high body counts. I know, it's kind of feeling like we're some kind of Suicide Squad here or some shit.
Even
So-
Valentina even threw a little bit of icing on the cake, basically saying, "How would you like to get paid and to take out the man who's responsible for your sister's
That's
death?"
right. As you'll
Oh.
remember, during the events of Endgame, Hawkeye and Black Widow had what was probably the most hilarious "no, I'm killing myself first" fight that I ever seen in my life. And most likely Clint Barton, while he certainly explained the situation, I'm guessing all the detail didn't get through the grapevine. So from the point of view of the people who don't know, he just basically killed his teammate and partner to get the shiny jawbreaker.
That's
The
another
Soul
thing.
Stone.
That's another thing they highlighted in the trailer. Basically, Hawkeye's past is coming back
More-
to bite him in the ass.
More to the point, his past as Ronin, the vigilante
That's
psycho
right.
assassin. This is what you were asking for,
yes,
Angel.
yes, yes.
You wanted consequences
I wanted
of him.
this.
And he's gonna get it.
Because if you guys remember, during the events of Endgame, he decided that since he lost his family, they were no longer holding back his style meter. He went to Japan and he proceeded to perform 75,000 Devil May Cry combos on every single mafioso of the Yakuza he could find. It was pretty
And it
cool.
worked.
It lasted 20 seconds. I wish there was a whole goddamn series about it, but this is as close as I'm gonna get.
Of course, we can't have the whole series be nothing but action and seriousness. I'm expecting
Why the fuck not?
because why can't we have a little bit of comedy in our Marvel series, huh?
Some would argue that some Marvel series have a little too much comedy sometimes.
Well, the comedy is there to help lighten the mood. I can get it.
Yeah,
if it can
sometimes
be
you need some
jarring,
levity,
sometimes
man.
I don't cut you off. So let me
Sometimes
actually
you
talk.
Sorry.
just gotta balance
Sorry,
it,
go ahead.
bro.
But I was actually trying to say, like, at least it's comedy that we can appreciate here. You've got buddy cop, like rookie veteran comedy chemistry going on between Kate Bishop
yes.
and Clint Barton here. Also, you'll actually notice that Clint's wearing his hearing aids here,
Yeah.
or probably guessing that sometime after Endgame, he finally actually went properly deaf because of all the explosions and the Thanos thing going on.
Canonically, yes,
So-
in the comics, Clint does have severe hearing issues that require those aids.
You
So
got to remember,
continuity.
folks. Out of all the Marvel heroes, he's still human.
And so you've got nice buddy cop comedy going on. What's her face? Tries to present herself as a badass to Hawkeye. She's like, some people call me the greatest archer in the world. Like, oh yeah, who?
Is that the shit talking you were talking about?
Yes.
well,
That's what I
well,
want.
me for once. Are you the only one? Yes.
Yes. This is exactly what I wanted because I had the misfortune of reading those comics. And let me tell you, in the comics, she's not the one boasting. Everybody's boasting for her. But I like the idea of this is the rookie. She's got to learn from the professional, and she will eventually become a magnificent
Oh
archer.
no, this arrow's too dangerous. Here, use that one. Fucking giant. You have more dangerous arrows than that?
Well, yeah, don't you?
Yeah, don't you?
Like,
No.
So I like the idea. He just embraced the idea that this is a dude using a bow in a world where everybody uses guns, and he's still incredibly dangerous. That should tell
The
you.
city is flying. We're facing an army of robots, and I've got a bow and arrow.
None of this makes any sense.
But I'm going back out there because it's my job.
For a moment, he just broke character. That wasn't in the script.
I love that.
Everything just crashed down on him, and he goes, "Wait, hang on a second. Give me a minute."
So, folks, are you excited about Hawkeye as we are? Because this is because I'm not gonna lie to you, this is some really good shit.
Let us know in the comments below. Tell us your thoughts about the trailer for Hawkeye, your expectations of it. It's coming out during the Christmas time. So, of
Yay.
course, it's a nice little Christmas gift. Yay.
I thought I researched it. I thought it was coming out on like November 27th or something.
Christmas time.
Okay, Christmas time.
It's like
Ho ho ho.
It's like
Ho,
3
ho.
days away from Christmas. It's basically Christmas. You know, like how 3 months away from Halloween is just Halloween.
Yeah, right.
Yep. So we're gonna go ahead and get into the chat real quick before we continue. Steph saying Angel's knees hold all the power. You're damn right they do.
Don't give me
And
too much
Steph
power.
did not like Shang-Chi. She hated it. Okay,
That
everyone
is
has.
unfortunate.
Actually,
You know what? When you get the chance to, let me know exactly what you didn't like about it. I like.
she put up, as a matter of fact, you can actually see her opinion in her less than 1 minute take on her channel, Steph the Alter Nerd. Go ahead and check it out.
This
I will
is
send
not
you the
in any
link.
way, shape, and form, and not so subtle advertisement of Steph's channel.
Right.
But for real.
Also, our buddy, yours truly, Billy, is here.
Hi,
He missed the last
Billy.
stream and he had a family tragedy, to say the least. We're very
Oh,
sorry to hear
shit.
that, buddy.
We're very, very sorry.
I'm
You
sorry,
have our
bro.
deepest condolences.
We
I
hope
you are
everything.
well.
We hope that you're okay. We hope that your loved ones are all right, man. Devil May Cry combo, Activision Blizzard, more like Activision Blizzard.
Wait
Yeah.
for it. We're getting there.
We're gonna
getting
get
there.
there. We're gonna
We're-
get there.
hold,
Chill.
hold. That
Chill,
story's
baby.
coming.
Trust
I'm
me.
excited for the one. I'm excited for the one thing. Alan Wake remastered.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, listen,
yes.
Billy. I'm glad you're back, but like right now, we've switched over from doing Doom to Persona 5 Royal. If you want to catch us next time.
Yeah, my friend Joe here kicked ass, took names, and destroyed the Spider Mastermind. So now we're switching to the most hardcore thing we can possibly imagine: a high school drama.
A JRPG
Oh God!
where you have to live an honest student's life.
But guys, you know what else is cool? Besides Hawkeye, besides playing an anime in a video game, old classic movies making a comeback.
That's right.
Oh yeah,
So-
and this is the part where me and Angel are gonna shut the fuck up and let Juan have the spotlight. Juan,
Thank you.
no pressure.
Thank you. I forgot to wear my.
No pressure.
Okay. Let's see. And Steph's over here saying, sorry to hear about your family situation. That's good. We're glad to hear that. No, we're glad that you're still with us. Okay. We found out, like, when we went to go see Shang-Chi, one of the trailers that played, we were trying to get a showtime to watch it, and incidentally enough, the only one that we could find was an IMAX screening. It was a couple dollars more than we were willing to spend, but only by a couple of dollars, so we were fine. We went ahead and ran into the movie theater as soon as we grabbed our popcorn.
Next.
And we got to see some trailers, and the one trailer that caught, I actually popped. I actually jumped and shouted like a man. You'll see on our thumbnail for tonight that we have the movie poster of Ghost in the Shell above the one for Hawkeye. That's because for a limited engagement, IMAX theaters are screening the original 1995 cult classic animated motion picture event Ghost in the Shell in full 4K IMAX glory.
So we got caught in 4K.
4K.
Yeah.
So hard that he nearly took off from his seat and into the other side of the stratosphere. We had to put our hands down and hold Juan from just fucking taking off.
Now, I made a poll the moment I saw that. I made a poll saying, "Hey, should I go ahead and drag our buddy Andy Signor to watch this with us in the movie theaters?" He was the only one who voted no.
Boo!
No, it's fine, you know.
Too
It's
bad.
No,
Andy, this is now a democracy. Where's his house? We're driving in and kidnapping his ass.
Yes.
I have
I'll
his
hide-
address on an encrypted site.
I'll
can't
hide
share
his
it.
body.
No, don't hide his
The
body.
point is to him to enjoy himself.
Oh yeah.
No, okay.
Oh,
no,
okay.
but,
So we're
but-
not committing manslaughter.
But
Okay.
for real, this is like the biggest fucking deal for me. Like, I know you're probably thinking, Juan, you're a weeb, you're a nerd, you have friends who are anime nerds. Surely you already have a copy of Ghost of the Shell that you can watch at any time. Why the hell would you go into a movie theater to watch it? Number one, not only do I have a copy, I've got an original DVD copy in a Blockbuster video case.
A relic from the ancient days of old.
And,
Lost to the mist of
the
time.
DVD menu is so primitive. It is so fucking old. You will laugh your titties off. Put that thing away, Jose. That was
Hey, you're the one
The
talking.
menu was
Put
made
that
by
thing away.
somebody who had a passion on MS Paint and graphic design.
actually yes.
Fun fact, Ghost in the Shell, the animated movie, was one of the first cyberpunk anythings I saw in Cuba. Followed very quickly by the original Blade Runner. I had no idea what the fuck was going on, but I knew that the naked cyber lady was pretty. And I think that may have redefined some of my tastes in my adult life.
Which explains your love for anarcho-capitalism and transhumanism.
Is that what that's called? Whatever.
Yes.
I just want cyber bodies, bro.
Yep, transhumanism.
Point in
That's your
case
thing.
is, I actually saw that during a summer special called The Sci-Fi. I remember clearly because during vacation in Cuba, they show more TV, better TV than usual. And they had this TV called Science Fiction and You. And it began with, From the New World, playing as the camera focused on the planet Earth. And this well-known astrophysician from Cuba would sit down and give us a brief rundown on, the setting of the place and the ideology behind the purpose of the movie. Like, the whole cybernetics, humanism, the loss of etc., etc., etc. Of course, I was a dumb child, so I didn't understand much of it. But the movie was cool.
No, the movie was cool.
And now we get to reply it again.
I first saw the movie when I purchased it on DVD. I think it was 2005 or 2006.
No. It was 2005.
It was
And
2005,
we
and it
rented
was 10 years after its release.
No, we rented that motherfucker out of my freaking college's library is what we did.
And it was
I
amazing.
libraries and colleges have
Support your local library, kids.
And
Please
it,
do. They're actually closing down. If we
but
don't.
yeah, another reason why this is such a big deal is because it's much different experience from watching it at home to watching it at theater, much less a freaking IMAX theater.
More importantly, it's not just the quality. It's a reminder of the fact that the beautiful classical times that were done in that day. That is the kind of animation you don't see anymore.
You also have to understand,
It's too expensive.
Ghost in the Shell has played a major role in being the inspiration for a lot of other films, such as-
Especially the Matrix movies.
And
yeah,
the
they
A-
basically got that shit straight up from them.
and the aforementioned Blade Runner.
That is correct.
Actually, it came after Blade Runner.
Oh, it came
No,
after
it
Blade
took
Runner.
inspiration from Blade
Oh,
Runner.
it took inspiration from
and
Blade
it
Runner.
itself became the inspiration for many works dabbling in the idea of transhumanism, cybernetics, and what it means to be human. It also resulted in several sequels, a couple of movies, a live-action adaptation, and at least one video game that we never got here in the States.
Don't forget. Oh, yeah, you said sequel. I was gonna say, don't forget the anime series.
That's the one I was talking about.
Oh, okay.
The
You
anime
said
series takes part after the movie, if I recall.
Actually, and I'm about to flaunt my cred, so
Go.
I'm sorry, not sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go
I
ahead.
wasn't sure in the chronology part here. All
Here's
I know
what's up. There is a sequel film called Ghost of the Shell 2 Innocence. That one is the direct sequel to the 95 Ghost of the Shell.
I have not seen that one, believe it or not.
I have it. I have it.
should check it out sometime.
That is, and the animated series Ghost in the Shell standalone complex is a alternate universe continuity.
So it's like a spin-off.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's a spin-off. Then
Okay.
another spin-off was Ghost of the Shell 2, was Ghost in the Shell Arise. That was another animated
That was the
series.
CG one, wasn't it?
Yes.
I saw it. It's funny in all the wrong ways.
It's fine.
The CG kind of it gets a little awkward.
But for real, the animated the series standalone complex and the like, I guess like the series finale movie that came out with it, which is called Solid State Society, just mwah.
Amazing.
Dude, these Metal Gear names are sending me. Solid State Society, standalone Metal Gear.
Okay, for those of you who
Kind of
love,
makes you wish Raiden made a cameo.
for those of you who well, I think Quentin Flynn voiced someone in one of the things. I don't know.
Check the cast. Something tells me he might.
But, like,
I know for a
but
fact Stephen Blum was there.
But you gotta love this stuff. It like the series gives you more time and gives small, like as you can imagine, standalone stories. And they have one season-long storyline which they call the complex episodes.
There was a lot
So
of laughing men and deformed dudes. that
Actually,
kinda
one
looked like
laughing
us.
man.
No, there were.
Oh wait, no, you're right. There were multiple.
There were
listen,
multiple.
Anonymous got way out of hand, and the shit posting increased to a literal criminal degree.
You're going to love it. I cannot recommend the Ghost of the Shell franchise to you highly enough. And the fact that we're going to the original movie, directed by the director of Appleseed, Mamoru Oshii.
Dude,
Yes, I love
Appleseed.
Appleseed.
Okay,
I've watched all
We're
the
going into
Appleseed
weeb
films.
mode, and I cannot give
Welcome
a fuck
to the
less.
weeb
What do I
episode
think
of
of
the Red
success?
Slug.
It sucks. Too much stress. Stress too much.
Folks, well, I mean, it's only natural for us. I mean, anime is one of our major cornerstones in being a nerd.
We love that shit, bruh.
And
Exactly.
we wanted to share our love of it with you. And if you are, if it is within your means, and if it is within your purview and inclination, and more to the point, if you're interested in it, if you are able to get to an IMAX theater near you, and if you want to see Ghost in the Shell in beautiful 4K, high fidelity, like surround sound that will just turn your eardrums into liquid gold, then please join us in this experience. We're actually going to go and watch it tomorrow at our local AMC theater. We're going to go watch it. We want you to join in with us.
You're not going to get another chance.
Yeah, it's a limited engagement kind of thing, but it's definitely, it's for us, like, okay, we're supporting our local theater, we're watching something that we love, and we're getting to see it in a way we never got to, because our asses had no clue what was going on in 1995 when that fucking thing came out.
We didn't know how much it was going to predict the future either.
Yeah, I know. Ghost in the
Japan,
Shell.
please stop predicting the increasingly vicious future with horrible accuracy.
Ghost
No.
in the Shell remains today as one of the top leading pillars of anime. And the best thing about it, as we've talked about, to summarize it, it has a collection of films and also different anime series from different like standalone realities.
Standalone complexes, maybe?
Yeah.
Don't
thank you
forget
for
the
that.
original manga.
And the original manga too. So
The
if
original manga written by Shiro Masamune.
Yeah, so there's different forms of media for Ghost in the Shell. So if you don't like the movies, then you can always pick up a manga and give it a good read. Or
Read,
watch one of
motherfucker!
the- or watch it.
Educate yourself.
Many of you to touch and reduce into it. So don't worry. The view is there. This is an old school classic, and I mean that in the most flattering way possible, and one that I do sincerely hope people go to enjoy again. Because hey, we could use some old school goodness nowadays.
Absolutely,
Indeed.
absolutely. So, folks, what about you? What do you think of Ghost in the Shell? Are you a fan of it? Have you been influenced by it at some point in your life?
Has it given you a bizarre taste for extremely thick Japanese women based on Western models that can break you in half with their thighs?
Has it given you an unnatural love for talking robot tanks?
Let us know in the comments right now.
Well, on the chat, we just had Steph and Billy saying thank you to each other for the stuff that was going on.
Well, that's good. That's good. But there you go. I just gave you 15 minutes. 15 minutes of your own spotlight, uninterrupted. Okay? Are we good? Are we good?
Can we go back to
No.
Are we back to emotionally abusing each other? Because I'm down for that too. Also, speaking of things to check out in the anime scene, not exactly related to Ghost in the Shell, but apparently Toonami has decided to branch into the art of funding their own anime series again. They made a completely original series currently airing on their show called Fina the Warrior Princess. And it is some girl manga, high-flying, high-seas action shit that, honestly, I recommend somebody else to check it out too. It's pretty fun as far as I've seen it.
Well, that's good. That's good. And speaking of good news, like, it's not just anime that's it's not just classic anime that's making a comeback, but but there's also happiness to be found elsewhere in the world of wrestling.
Not
and I'm
yet.
going to say this. Oh,
Not yet. We have some. We had a pop-up question on the chat real quick.
Okay, what's up?
Yours truly, Billy, is asking, how does it feel when you interact with a small content creator, only to end up being close friends with them? I met a lot, and they're all amazing, including you three amigos.
Thanks, Billy.
Well, thanks,
it feels good because it means that somebody out there is listening. And despite the enormous distance between you and I and everyone else that we know that you are now right here with us. And I may not be able to shake your hand, but I assure you, if I could, it would be an honor of my part.
I really do appreciate that. But, like, honestly, if you want my honest opinion, when we talk to other people, whether they're content creators or cosplayers or anything else in the nerd community, we have to remember, they're just people like us. They're just human, just like any of us.
We don't wish to be put on a pedestal.
Don't put people on a pedestal, especially not us. We're all horrible motherfuckers. Jose,
I am the worst.
We have criminal reps the size of a fucking Yellow Pages book.
But go on.
like seriously, Angel's a psychotic, anarcho-capitalist, transhumanist motherfucker.
That is called being honest. Thank you very much.
Go
No,
on.
it isn't. It's an ideology, and just like ideologies, it's got its flaws,
Mine just happens to be 100% correct.
which is why it's flawed.
Snake.
Oh, God. Continue.
Jose's a self-aggrandizing a-hole who cannot wait to take the spotlight off of everybody, and I'm an asshole. I'm a massive asshole.
That is
Please.
literally it. He's just the asshole organ. His entire body is a sphincter.
I am a sphincter.
But we do have to remember that, hey, we're all human. I actually want to bring up a brief story. Like someone I know on Twitter actually got bombarded. He's also a YouTube content creator. He took some time off on vacation for a couple of weeks, and people were harassing him, saying, "Hey, man, how come you're not producing content? Huh? You're not living up to the expectations. Blah 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 blah. How dare you be a human and enjoy your time off with your family?"
Wasn't that Brian Zane?
Yes.
Okay,
people were shitting on him.
Okay, Brian Zane is a pro wrestling commentator. He used to be a wrestler and he used to be a manager. He now works as a commentator for the
For Ring of Honor.
For Ring of Honor. Oh. So yeah, go fucking figure. He's made it up to the top and stuff. And like he hosts one of Jose's favorite shows over here, Wrestling with Regret. Where
a couple of those episodes. That
where
shit is hilarious.
Yeah, he puts his comedic twist on pro wrestling storylines and shows and characters and special moments and stuff.
And just recently, he took some time off, like 2 weeks vacation.
I'm gonna
just
swap
to be
my
with his
mic. Give me a
family.
minute.
And people on the internet were shitting on him, saying like, "Hey, man, all this exciting things happening, and you're not covering it. Oh, you're a disgrace to all content creators, to all YouTubers."
Can a brother just take a vacation? Also, if he's a YouTuber, that means that he's technically giving you all that entertainment for free.
Yeah, seriously.
Well, kind of. Like he's monetized and he's way better.
It doesn't matter. I'm not paying him.
The
I'm paying my internet connection.
The point is that we are all human at the end of the day. We all have strengths and weaknesses. We all have times where we need to we need to unplug from social media and just relax.
We say as we stream this show in 4 different brands of social media.
Unplugged.
Regardless, point in case is sometimes your favorite creator is going to take a break. Give them a break. They are not here to just entertain you. Come on, brah.
Thank you.
Billy saying, I asked because I didn't see it coming. Like, I know a streamer randomly on Instagram, and we became best buddies. You three are fucking hilarious.
Thanks, man.
Thanks,
That's
man.
great.
I really appreciate it.
That and only I can give you information that we can also make you laugh. That is an extra pleasure for the likes of.
Now let's go ahead and get into Jose's personal circle jerk.
Oh, stop it. You're just as happy too, and
stop.
so are you.
It is now time for wrestling news, so we got to switch the spotlight to Mr. Casabona here so he can properly be trained as the sun itself shines off his glorious, overpowering dome. Look upon it and be blinded by the grace of the magnificent.
All right. Put it back.
I could do another.
Jeez, I appreciate the spotlight, but people can't see me if the light is.
They don't need to see you.
They don't need to
because
see
the
you.
black hole sun will come and it will wash the rain away. Cover yourself with your shirt. There's the black sun.
All right, so
Won't you come?
And wash away the rain.
All right, guys, let me get to it. So here's the news that has been awesome. Your winner this week on Monday Night Raw and new WWE World Heavyweight Champion He's from the New Day.
Oh.
Big E.
Oh, shit. It's my boy with the bootios.
Yes.
Yeah. Good job.
Very nice.
Congratulations, Big E.
After,
Love to see you thrive, man.
on this week's Monday Night Raw, they went to Boston, Massachusetts. Their main event match was the WWE
Fucking
Championship.
Baston. Didn't Godzilla trash Baston?
Yes.
Why should anything happen in Baston anymore? Fuck Baston.
Well, see, the problem is the Big G trashed
Big
the
E.
No,
Oh, G, yeah.
He trashed the place, and though he completely reduced it to an irradiated crater, he left his mark. It's one of those, like, the astronaut's foot mark on the moon kind of things, you know?
True.
Yeah, Juan, if you hate it so much, why don't you go over there and throw a tea party?
In fact, I guarantee you the entire city was rebuilt with the tourist funding of Big G was here.
But anyways,
God
we're
damn
getting
it.
way far off.
Fuck
So-
Boston. We're the
so-
famous flock and we hate Boston.
So
At
the
least
main
me.
event of Monday Night Raw was Bobby Lashley defending the WWE Championship against Randy Orton. After successfully defeating Randy Orton, Big E cashed in his Money in the Bank briefcase, which gives him the ability to challenge for any world championship anytime, any place.
Oh.
And he did so, and he cashed it in on Bobby Lashley, who was already selling a knee injury from Randy Orton. He laid him out with the big ending, 1, 2, 3 pinfall. Your winner, Big E.
Damn.
And the New Day, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods came out to celebrate with him.
Oh,
All
shit.
the fans cheered. There was pyros. There was explosions. Everyone
Yeah,
was
they
happy.
actually had pyros again. Go
No,
fucking figure.
They were ready. Big E had the big case of money, and he's like, the moment this man steps into that ring, I'm going to destroy him.
Now, earlier
Oh, God.
that day, Big E actually mentioned it on social media. Hey, spoiler alert, I'm going to be cashing in my Money in the Bank briefcase tonight. For
Wait, no.
He's announced it to everyone.
So it wasn't even a surprise. He's like, not only do I want the smoke, I will tell the world how much smoke I want. I will be in a bonfire. I desire calculated smoke.
Now, one can make the argument that he put that thing out on purpose.
Yes.
For a couple reasons. Number one, because he can.
Yes.
And number two, to get more eyeballs to watch WWE Raw.
That is
Because
a-
of that.
That is a way to.
Yeah,
moving
tactical
your Twitter
move.
fans is a good way to get publicity.
Like, hey guys, I'm gonna do this thing, but don't tell the fucking champion. Look, what the fuck? No, wouldn't you think? Wouldn't you think that if Bobby Lashley, the WWE champion, heard that the one motherfucker who could jump him at any time up to a year and challenge him for the championship wouldn't go ahead and try to take him on a night where he's already defending? Don't you think that maybe he would try to have his back watched or something? Have somebody to take care of him?
Next time,
Nope.
Next time
He just
somebody
fucking took it like a bitch.
Next time somebody announces that on Twitter, the wrestler is just gonna show up to the ring with a gun.
Now, first
Oh,
thing we need
no.
to say, we have
Go
to.
ahead, put the money down. I dare you.
All right, now we have to get credit where credit is due. Bobby Lashley, he was a great WWE champion. He is.
Oh,
like-
absolutely. The
Oh,
man's
yeah.
athletic as a motherfucker.
Oh yeah, dude. Bobby Lashley can eat people too.
Damn.
Do you know
But
how
he's
Brock?
a nice guy.
Okay, do you know how Brock Lesnar eats people?
Yes. he-
Bobby Lashley learned for his recipe.
Oh Jesus.
He
Christ.
eats people.
But he's a nice guy.
At
like he's
eating-
action-
at eating people.
Actually, yes. But that's the one difference.
Oh, so he's like Hannibal. He'll eat you, but he will be very polite about
The
it.
one thing that gets me and I can never get behind was the new like nickname that they gave him,
Which is?
the Almighty Bobby Lashley.
Okay, that's putting Almighty in front of anything is a pretty big fucking calling.
Like,
I
okay,
mean, it kind of fits. He's
No,
a
it
tall. No, look, he's a tall bastard. He's like 6'5", 275 pounds of pure muscle.
That is
Let me
powerful, but
let me pull up-
Almighty feels like something you slap in there because you. feel
Dude,
like
the
you're-
way he
it's-
wrestles in the ring, he's a fucking beast, man.
Shit.
I will say this right now.
Which of course makes it all the better because that means that Big E is better than the Almighty.
Oh yeah.
Big E challenged God and told him to eat shit. Big E is stronger than Christianity.
Oh yeah, and
Jesus.
everybody online, all all regions from
Okay,
different
yeah, holy
promotions.
shit. That
that's
looks
Bobby Lashley. That's not even that much of an
that
old
look- that
picture of
looks
him,
like
is
a
it?
Like a sculpted statue of a man.
You need to pull up a recent picture
That
of
man
him.
could
Is
flex
he-
his man titties and fold a car.
There,
What the fuck? Look at that. Holy
that's
shit.
Bobby Lashley today, and he's still keeping it ripped, man. Check it out.
Look at that!
It's a hairless Terry Crews.
Oh, Terry Crews is already hairless.
Yeah, he's already hairless.
Stash.
Nobody.
You're right.
Okay, fine, that counts.
That counts.
But yeah, and then everybody on social media, on Twitter, all praised Big E. Even one of them, I can't remember who said it, but they basically said, "Hey, man, the late John Huber, the late Brody Lee would be proud of you because Big E and Brody Lee were friends."
Jose, why the fuck do you keep bringing up Brody Lee?
All right. But
Because
that's
video game rivalries are fun.
all right, but that's beside the point. Yes, Big E, WWE champion, opens up for a lot of possibilities. Right now, he's in a high-level program with the New Day against the WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns and the Usos.
So if they dress like the Ginyu Force ones, doesn't that mean that the challenge that defeats him is going to be dressed like Goku?
No.
What's up, Juan?
Okay, I'm going to try to translate this down to regular ass people talk who aren't gigantic wrestling marks. Big E has been in the WWE for a long time. A little less than 10 years, yes?
He's been there since 2011, 2012.
So about 10 years. This is the first time he was ever been WWE champion. This is the first time he's ever been any kind of world champion. And the fact that he's had to change his persona from big ass, a badass dude to part of a goofy trio that just so happens to be like merchandise sellers and like fucking colorful attires and goofy and fun.
It's a Ginyu Force.
Hey man, those shirts. Hey man, that merchandise ain't gonna sell itself.
As dumb as it sounds, and as dumb as it seems, like okay, these guys are in Technicolors, are coming out with unicorn shit and throwing pancakes at their fans and throwing out cereal, part of a balanced breakfast, and like trumpets and shit. Like it's so goofy. This guy's never gonna make. No, this guy fucking makes it because he was loyal and the guy's a hard worker and he has been granted the opportunity to be the champion. That's what you do when a motherfucker works hard. That's what you do with a motherfucker who's dedicated to you. And that's what you do with a motherfucker who clearly has a giant fan base behind him. You give him the championship and show people what he could do.
What's your question, Angel?
So he's working for the WWE right now.
Yes.
Right? Does that make Vince McMahon his Frieza?
That's giving Vince a little too much credit, Angel.
No, he's Lord Cooler then. Triple H is Frieza.
Oh, that's good.
Considering
I'm telling you, the next wrestler who defeats Big E has to be dressed like Goku now. We have to follow the fucking plot.
Big E now joins all the other WWE wrestlers who are African American who captured the world title. He joins The Rock. He joins Kofi Kingston.
The Rock was like from like Hawaii or some shit.
No, The Rock's father, Rocky Johnson.
Right?
No, that's his mother's side. His father is black. His mother was Samoan.
Huh, cool.
Yep.
And
And
he got more of his mom than his dad do.
no, he's got a nice proper mocha blend going on.
Yeah, he's coffee.
He is coffee.
Family.
Because he's the strongest shit you'll ever drink.
No, I just remember that because in the Hobbs and Shaw movie, his morning routine is just to eat coffee raw from the can. Spoonfuls of that shit.
Right.
I'm like, okay, you can tell the movie's just taking the piss right now.
Yeah.
Black Superman.
Oh yeah,
God,
definitely.
Idris Elba, gotta love it. But yeah, like it's basically it's a nice big celebration for fans, for folks who like the New Day. There's obviously folks who have been behind Kofi Kingston. He used to be WWE champion for a while,
and he had a pretty good run.
The only one who of the three who hasn't gotten a chance to be WWE champion yet is Xavier Woods,
the host of the Up Down Down show.
Ah, well, he's gonna have to try a little harder right now because he's getting left behind by Big E.
Not really. He's not really being left behind. The guys may not be together as the New Day anymore, but they're clearly friends. They're clearly together, and they clearly support their
That
buddy.
may not be the case for much longer, Juan. The WWE is actually coming up on October 1st on SmackDown, and they're going to hold it again on October 4th on Raw.
What if it becomes
what do you mean, so? That means Big E might be drafted back to Raw to join with the New Day.
But what if they decide to twist it and have the other member of New Day that hasn't been a champion try to fight Big E and be like, you were always on top, now it is time for me to look down at you?
Or vice versa, they could draft Kofi and Xavier to SmackDown to join Big E. Of course, that means they have two world champions on SmackDown.
I like the idea better because then they can call it black-on-black violence.
God!
Oh! Angel, you asshole!
Come on, don't tell me they wouldn't come up with that name themselves if they could.
They didn't.
They don't. It's the WWE, man.
They were making cereal brands, my dude. They would come up with that shit if they could.
Well, we want to hear what you think. If you follow pro wrestling at all, we want to hear your thoughts. Leave them in the comments below. If you're on the live stream, let us know your thoughts about Big E finally getting the big one and being WWE champion.
By defeating the Almighty.
Big E truly deserves this. I'm happy that he's champion, and I think he's going to have an awesome run. The only thing that I would advise Big E is please, whatever you do, do not inherit any toxic, borderline criminal habits from any of the old wrestling predecessors.
We'll get to those in just a moment.
Yes, we'll get to that in a minute.
Because we got Billy on the chat. He is running wild over here. You three are fucking hilarious. Circle jerk, fucking hell. I am staying for the Blizzard part, which, as you guys read this message, is the time, LOL. Angel is an asshole. What about the rest of you two? Just kidding. Okay. Yeah.
You know you love
dude,
it.
We're all
we know
assholes.
we know we're
Oh,
assholes.
see,
But we all love each other.
I'm just the only one that isn't running around telling you my shit don't stink. Then again,
For the record, neither do I.
Yeah, neither do I,
yeah,
man.
that's
What?
because you don't shit.
Actually, that is a very.
You just piss. You're like 80% liquid.
Are you telling me that Juan doesn't pee or... Well, are you telling me Juan doesn't
only-
poo?
He only pees.
You only pee but don't poo?
It's a very serious condition, folks. Please have fiber in your diet.
I thought you burned all that energy and you work overtime.
And Steph is here saying that she stopped watching WWE around 2005.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
but
understand-
it was roughly around that time, if I recall, that people began to become truly aware of how many problems were going behind the scenes
Yes.
of that shenanigans.
Yes.
All the problems.
All the
And
problems.
unfortunately, problems is the only thing that we got going for the next few minutes because
Because-
we have received information.
Oh, yeah.
Yesterday was a
Painful information.
because apparently the pro wrestling world can't give us 1 week,
1 week.
of nice good news.
We asked for 1 week
What?
and they couldn't last 5 days.
So,
God fucking damn it.
So
Okay.
Dark Side of the Ring, Vice's documentary series, Dark Side of the Ring, which basically tells all the stories of crazy, outrageous stuff that happens behind the scenes in wrestling. It came back Thursday night, continuing its third season, and its first episode coming back is titled "The Plane Ride from Hell."
And
Long
what
story-
the hell it was.
Long story short, in 2002, there was a European tour trip that the WWF, which was its name at the time, so I'm not going to correct myself, where they had flown around to Germany and France and Spain and UK, and then they came back home. They went ahead and chartered a private Boeing 757 luxury plane for a couple of the wrestlers who were there.
For those who don't know, the Boeing 757 is essentially a limousine on wings. It is an enormous,
It's fine.
magnificent craft that is meant to carry a small crew, a huge amount of rich people, and it has lounges, it has sofas, it has alcohol running around the clock.
Luxurious.
It is incredibly expensive, and it's basically a
Corinthian
first-class
leather.
cruise in the air.
So, of course, when you have like 20 or 30 professional wrestlers along with staff and like higher ups in a metal tube flying at 30,000 feet for 14 hours straight after they finished a successful, rowdy, high energy, high octane tour in Europe, people are going to do things to try to relax. People are going to do things to try to entertain
Don't
themselves.
forget the 7-hour delay before the flight started.
Oh yes.
There was a 7-hour delay, and apparently during that 7 hours where their plane was grounded in England, they had cleared 3 or was it 4 full carts
3 full carts of liquor.
So we have a bunch of extremely burly dudes who just came high of an amazing celebration.
Drunk as fuck.
Had many drugs in their system and went through 7 hours of non-stop drinking, being subjected to a 14-hour flight with even more alcohol and drugs involved.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
There was so much shenanigans, from pranks to being pulled on fellow wrestlers to
physical violence.
That actually caused a panic in the plane because they thought they were going to break the emergency door.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Okay, Brock Lesnar, even if you don't know pro wrestling, Brock
Imagine the
Lesnar
Attack Titan.
from Attack on Titan.
Imagine the Armor Titan. That's Brock Lesnar.
And Mr. Perfect, Kurt Hennig, he was a big star in the 90s. Yes, Mr. Perfect. He was back for a very short amount of time. They basically got into a fight in the airplane, threw each other around, and were slamming against the emergency exit of the fucking plane, causing everyone to freak out and think, oh my god, we're gonna fucking die.
Now, for
Yeah.
the record, they could have not broken that door. However, they could have broken the fuselage in the plane, which would have forced an emergency landing in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. How good are these guys at swimming again?
We don't want to test
I
that
mean,
theory.
Jim Ross can escape because his giant hat like doubles as a flotation device.
Good old JR.
Good old
But
JR.
everyone else, no.
But there was another altercation that happened that was just as bad. No, actually, no, it's not just as bad.
Worse.
It's worse. It was infinitely worse.
It is time to talk about Woo Man.
The Nature Boy, Ric Flair, one of the
16-time world champion.
One
One
of
they'll
the-
never let you forget it.
one of the legendary pillars of professional wrestling. He was also documented in not such a good way.
Apparently, one of the things that he liked to do on tours to get the other wrestlers to fucking laugh and to get a rise out of people is, if you know Ric Flair, what like the signature robes that he would wear to the ring, this giant bedazzled sequined robes with feather and his name, the Nature Boy, in the back. Beautiful Technicolor robe. And when he would take it off, he's got the big gold belt on him, and he's got his trunks on. Apparently, he forgot to wear his trunks.
He was naked.
He was in his birthday suit.
Now, here at the Ravens Flock, we do not shame anybody for the beauty of their natural bodies. However, we must stress and emphasize that for the sake of social decency and the rules that keep us civilized towards one another,
We live in a society.
we live in a society. And I would just like to say this. There is a time and a place for the dick party. That was not the time or the place for the dick party.
In fact, the flight
was not just with the boys.
In fact, the flight attendant, the victim herself, she was actually on this episode of Dark Side of the Ring and told us what happened. He basically cornered her in the galley on board of the plane and tried to smooth talk her and grabbed her hand and made her touch him.
So it
as he was helicoptering.
So it wasn't just bad enough that poor woman was forced to touch Dick. He had to touch 50-year-old Dick.
The guy was 54 years old when it happened.
So yes, that resulted in some shenanigans, and that aforementioned stewardess also had to deal with the fact that another of the wrestlers being completely out of it in drugs and alcohol.
Scott Hall, one of the founders of the NWO,
who unfortunately has a severe history of substance abuse and not being able to deal with that substance abuse, grabbed her roughly, threatened her, and then licked her and threw her aside before falling down and passing out. She basically decided she had enough, locked herself in the cabin, and didn't leave for the rest of the flight.
Yeah.
It was. I can't blame her. Now, let's not forget that if it wasn't for the intervention of good old Gold Dust,
Dustin Rhodes,
he was the one that stepped in against Rick. What the fuck? Get away from the woman, please.
Like, Rick, it's time to stop shitposting.
Imagine a world where Gold Dust was the only sane man.
Go ahead and look him up. Dustin Rhodes, Gold Dust.
Like a stand.
Yeah. He looks like a JoJo stand. He comes out in just as a feminine and elaborate robe, and he wears a bodysuit that is black and gold. He's got this beautiful blonde wig that he takes off so you see his blonde shaved head, and he's got black and gold makeup on his face. This creepy, weird motherfucker is the voice of reason in this situation, and he pulls away Ric Flair from this poor lady.
Him and Jim Ross that were desperately trying to hold the plane together. I think literally at that point.
Literally, yeah. And the aftermath of it all, basically, because at the time, Jim Ross was the executive vice president of talent relations, and he
JR, good old JR, the Oklahoma man with the barbecue sauce and black hair.
He took responsibility for what's happened because it happened on his watch. Scott Hall was fired.
Yep.
Kurt Hennig was fired.
Yep.
Everyone else that were involved in altercations, they got their comeuppance, except Ric Flair. To put it simply, and JR said it himself in this documentary, for lack of a better term, because he was a made man and he was a bigger name.
That's right. At the time, Ric Flair was riding what we consider one of the most spectacular peaks of his career, popularity-wise, which means that, unfortunately, he had the influence, the money, and the fame to get away with it. Of course, thankfully, nothing worse than what happened, but it doesn't change the fact that that poor stewardess who was just trying to do her job was essentially forced into sexual harassment by a man that was like twice her senior.
Now, this is the bit that got everybody pissed off. Yes. Not just the allegation of Ric Flair's misconduct being brought back out in the limelight. However, the stewardess, she did attempt to sue the WWE for the harassment, and they actually went and got a settlement out of it
with a shit ton of money.
They settled out of court.
Number, but apparently it was enough money that this information didn't come out until 2 decades from now.
Oh yeah,
but the thing that pissed a lot of people off was one of the other people who was on the flight, ECW original, the innovator of violence, Tommy Dreamer, who was in the flight as well. Apparently, he came off very dismissive about the situation. He came off very protective of Ric Flair. He's like,
too much
he was basically equating Ric Flair's offensive behavior of cornering a woman while he's buck naked and trying to have her grab his Nature Boy. And he was trying to equate that to people being offended by the fact that he's a 50-year-old man with a pair of ponytails on
Listen,
him. No, that's not why we're mad.
That man must be fucking dreaming. No, everybody was mad because Ric Flair did a bad thing, and everybody took accountability except the man himself.
Even Goldust, who apparently he had a fucking issue where he was using the back of the seat, you know, those little pouches that you get on the back of the airplane seats, as a spittoon for his like chewing tobacco.
Yep.
So that was gross.
Yeah, it was
and
gross.
he disrupted people while they were sleeping by grabbing the intercom and trying to serenade his ex-wife Terry Runnels.
Fortunately, Jim Ross is like, go to sleep, bro.
Like he grabbed the microphone and told him, "Get your ass to bed."
Yeah.
Okay, guys, sit your ass down. Give us a
Sit your ass
break.
down.
Not the fact that the other
Fuck.
guy, the other one who manhandled the poor waitress, was so out of it that one of the wrestlers had
Scott
to grab
Hall.
him, put him in a wheelchair, put sunglasses on him, walk to the
Get him
airport
through
security
customs.
going, oh yeah, no, he's got a condition. And Jim Ross was waiting for him in his big black hat, looking at him with an expression of just
Pathetic.
I just fucking literally, son, I am disappointed.
The other guy being Scott Hall there.
And poor Scott Hall is like, bro, I'm just like,
No, the other guy was just incredible wheeling him.
yeah, he's like, I'm just trying to get this progress.
Yeah, like
He's just
like
shrugging
what?
his
Like,
shoulders
what can I do?
I'm sorry, I can't, this is not my doing. And we had that really important line from Mr. Ross. Honestly, I really sympathize with Ross on this one because for those of you who don't know, he's the talent manager. That means that he doesn't make the decisions. Vince makes the decisions.
He has to execute.
And then swings them by him. That way, Vince gets to sit in his office and reap the benefits, while Ross gets to run down there and give the bad news.
has
to
to be
people.
the bad guy.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
get fired from the WWE, Ross is the one calling you. When your paycheck is getting cut, he's the one not signing it. When bad decisions are being made, he's the one telling you that the bad decisions are being made. And that poor man basically said it himself, my job is to manage these people. And I understand that they're a bunch of rowdy assholes sometimes because they're on drugs most of the time, but my job is to manage the talent. I should not have to keep an eye on every single one of them. I should not have to tell them how to behave like adults.
Yes! And after the episode was aired, the internet exploded like all over Twitter, all over social media. Ric Flair was trending worldwide. Many people are calling for Ric Flair's head over this.
And consequences follow because his wallet took a bit of a dent on this one because of it.
Yes, here's what happened in the aftermath. First of all, Tommy Dreamer he's currently employed by Impact Wrestling over in Nashville, Tennessee. He has been suspended indefinitely following his statements on Dark Side of the Ring. Impact Wrestling released a statement saying that basically his statements go against the core values of Impact Wrestling, and he's been suspended pending further action.
Literally everyone has standards.
Like literally, like you gotta understand. And I know that Angel's probably a little teed on this because like the guy didn't actually do anything himself. But the way he came off, he was basically coming off as if he was defending like helicopter dick Ric Flair.
Exactly. Listen, bro, I may have admittedly somewhat loose morals, but there are standards every human being would follow. And I don't know you, but approaching a woman who is not interested in you, helicoptering your dick and forcing her to grab her is undefensible. And if you were so drunk and drug-addled that you genuinely don't recall it, the least you could do is take accountability for your mistakes and apologize.
To this day, Ric Flair is stating that, that this is all bullshit, these are all lies. There are more than one person attesting to that specific incident. There was Rob Van Dam, there was Jim Ross, there was Justin Credible, there was Tommy Dreamer, all the guys who were interviewed for that episode of Dark Side of the Ring, which, if you want to watch it, is available on YouTube on Vice.
You know what the worst part is, though? Because of how high he was
all of
in
them
his
fucking
career,
said it.
He could have admitted to it, apologized, and nothing all the worst could have occurred.
He could have.
He was so big. Let's be honest. Wrestling is rife with personal conflict and wrestlers doing stupid shit when they're high on drugs or alcohol. But at least the majority of them go, you know what? This was a fucking bad thing. Let me go fix it.
Now, as far as Ric Flair himself, he's getting a little bit of his own comeuppance. The
Car Shield.
Yeah, Car Shield, who
Which is an insurance company.
Who he advertises for, basically pulled his commercial videos off of TV, and they released a statement themselves. They are aware of it. They have removed the commercial, and they're doing their due diligence.
Sometimes people who have too much power and fame get away with it, but sometimes justice catches up,
and
even if it took a longer time than expected.
And as for the WWE, they have a documentary of Ric Flair's take of the plane ride from hell that's available on the WWE Network and Peacock, and they have taken it down following the episode.
They're like,
like, wait a second, this recollection seems a little too biased. The part where everybody was literally sucking his dick feels a little unrealistic. So there you have it. It would seem that 20 years ago, fame and money, just like 20 years today, can do horrible things to a person. Now, I will be the first to admit that many of these men and women in that plane were adult, drugged out of their minds, and alcoholic. but that doesn't change the fact that they chose to drink. They chose to put those.
They're all grown-ass folks.
They are grown-ass men and women, and they are responsible for their actions. In the words of Jim Ross, I can't go around telling you how to behave like an adult.
Now, as for Ric Flair himself, he did speak about this recently on an episode on an edition of the Oral Sessions hosted by Renee Paquette, formerly Renee Young from the WWE.
What did he say?
He basically said this.
And he quote.
And I quote, God, I've heard about it too. Just when things are going good for me. Listen, you, Renee Paquette, put me on your podcast after. We'll see how it plays out because I was there and I don't care whose name I got to drop if the heat falls on me. I know who was where and what and who and what took place. I know the whole story.
So he didn't say anything.
Yet.
He's basically saying, I have a boss and I'm willing to throw as many people under it as possible as long as I come up looking slightly better from this.
So if Ric Flair does manage to go on Renee's show on Oral Sessions with Renee Young, Renee Paquette, you better believe we're going to watch that like a hawk.
Yeah, no, invite him to the podcast. I want to hear his side of the story.
So,
yeah.
You go ahead and tell us, Rick, were you spinning it clockwise or counterclockwise?
What was the speed of miles per hour your wrinkly dick was going?
Yeah, what concussion did you suffer in your wrestling career that made you think that this was a good idea?
It was the one where he got hit by a dry crack rock.
God.
Oh!
Folks,
yes.
we want to hear what you think. Obviously
we are thoroughly disgusted at this. Mortified. Absolutely fucking mortified.
You know how easy it is to not corner a woman with your dick on a plane? I do it all the time. It's very easy not to do.
I feel bad for everyone associated with him, friends and family. Heck, his daughter, Charlotte Flair, competes on Raw, and she's the current women's champion.
Not much longer.
No,
you better believe they're going to punish her over that.
Here's what I love. I love when the beginning of the episode happened, we had a bunch of wrestlers commenting of, oh yeah, no, the stewardess get really friendly with us, and sometimes they take you to their room and we have a good time. And they were talking about perfectly willing consensual acts being done there. Which means that, yes, we have a bunch of really buff, very attractive looking people, and a bunch of stewardess that know that they can get more friendly than they want to. So perfectly consensual sex is 100% available in those places.
You can ask!
You're rich.
Yeah.
You're good looking. Bro, women are tripping over themselves to get in your pants. You should not have to rely on drugs to do this.
You can ask. You can ask. And if they say yes, then you can go ahead and helicopter dick all you want.
It's called consent.
This is the part that blows me away the most. These are very good looking people. Let's be honest. The majority of wrestlers are at the very least.
Even Ric Flair and his old wrinkly ass is like, he's pretty buff for an old wrinkly ass.
You don't even need to look at the face. They have beautiful bodies. They have the bodies of Olympic athletes. They are fantastic. They are people you want to put in your bed and you want them to break you in half. They are rich, they are famous, they are well known, and they are charismatic, and the majority of them are damn good looking. It should be very, very easy for them to put an impressionable person in bed for perfectly legal consensual acts between two adults. But no, we're here now. This is where we are now.
This is an old, this is an old photo
Ric
of
Flair
Ric Flair
2002.
Yeah, no.
That's how he looked. He didn't look bad.
He still looks good. I've seen people like half his age who look worse than twice as bad as he does.
I mean, this is
him in
the
1992.
I wish my man titties had that much definition.
Look at that. He was 40-something at that time.
But in cases,
he was WWF champion.
Ric Flair should not have problem pulling women into his bed. But here we are.
Here we are.
In the land of naked, drunk, drugged out Ric Flair, spinning his dick like a helicopter, forcing a woman to touch it.
All right.
Let me go ahead and get in the comments real quick. Sweet God.
I want to
Billy. 1 week is not enough, lads. Angel with the dark humor as usual. Is there light humor too? Get it? Light, dark? Haha. Steph,
of course
decrying in shame and terror. No, nature boy. Billy saying, wait, 50 what? Yeah, he was what, 52 years old at the time?
He was 54. He's 73 right now.
Yeah, WTF is right, son. And Steph saying she remembers Goldust. Yes. To this day, Goldust.
Goldust is one of my favorites.
You mean gold?
No,
dust.
No, gold.
Dust.
Polvo.
But go on.
Yep. And Will Morris on the chat. Thank you for joining us tonight, Will Morris. Haven't seen you in a while. Thank you for jumping in.
How you doing, man?
Goldust was a classic. Dustin Rhodes was not. You're right. There was a time when he dropped his persona, was trying to go straight out, and
it didn't work out very well.
Yeah,
it's working out for him right now.
I understand that you tried to branch out, but it's good that he had his old gimmick to fall back upon.
Yep.
Sometimes it's good to experiment. Doesn't mean you're gonna succeed.
Will Morris cornering a woman buck naked. Yeah, that sounds like Ric Flair. I always imagine Ric Flair to be. Oof.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's predictable, but it's wrong.
No, you want to know the real punchline on this?
What?
Earlier this month, a photo came out of a couple of wrestlers who were on a train trip going out. And someone took a candid photo of a older man with blonde hair.
Oh no.
Thinning patch over here. Very well tanned. In his suit. This is from behind. Leaning down. And a pair of female legs up in the air.
Jesus Christ.
So, you can infer on that what you need to. I don't need to say it. Ric Flair doesn't have trouble getting consent. He doesn't need to do this shit.
But then again,
Why the fuck did he do it?
because when you are drunk and or high enough, what you have to do suddenly becomes very, very far away from what you want to do. So I guess the real lesson is, please be responsible with your drinking.
Yeah, but
God!
that being said, make no mistake, a lot of the other wrestling promotions, including the WWE, they will do what they can to steer away from any sort of bad publicity from Ric Flair.
At this
And
point, yeah.
Will and Steph exchanging A-ups on the chat. Awesome.
Yes.
Well, yeah, no.
The
this
moment
was,
we're monetized, we're going to add A-up as part of our
bro,
emojis
after
too.
this, we're never gonna get monetized. The WWE is gonna go out of its way to make sure we never make a fucking cent.
Are you kidding me? No, we're doing damage control on their behalf. How dare you, Vince?
I don't think this is going to... I'm 50-50 of whether or not this will affect Charlotte Flair's placement on Raw. She
Somehow
might
I doubt
either...
it. She has nothing to do with what her dad did 20 years ago. Come on.
True, but
She was a little
But
girl 20 years ago.
WWE has a history of punishing their
Well,
wrestlers.
yeah, that's because they're fucking stupid.
Very
You think
fucking
they're
stupid.
falling apart right now.
things that are falling apart. Let's go ahead and get into
Oh,
it.
yes, Angel.
Angel,
It is time.
and this is the part that Billy has been waiting for. Billy, if you're awake, hi. Welcome back to the land of
Hilariously,
awakening.
the McAfee antivirus.
Oh, can I
warning
show?
just-
May I show, please?
Please do.
We're
like,
gonna get a camera inception, but
Go
sure.
right ahead. Go ahead.
This just popped in front of the screen.
Hang on.
Just as we were about to talk about something outrageous. Hang on. Yep. Get that. Get that.
Let me just-
Either way. There we go.
Wow, not even
Wow,
that
it doesn't even want to show there. Oh
Can
my
you
God.
adjust the lens or?
No,
Yeah,
no.
actually, I
don't
would
worry
have
about
to.
it. Don't worry about it. Anyway, the McAfee antivirus protection software just decided to update and go, it's your free security solution. So, let us talk about video games. In fact, let us talk about Activision Blizzard.
Oh boy, this is
gonna
going to
go
be
ahead.
what? The third follow-up from this?
Yep. If you
Oh,
guys
boy.
notice our little thumbnail for our program, anytime we cover the Activision Blizzard
The
lawsuit, or
flames keep getting
the,
hotter.
we've been adding more flames, and it's been getting higher and higher. Jose, you're gonna run out of fire at some point.
Oh no, trust me, man.
Oh,
There's
no.
fire everywhere if you know where to
I
look.
would love to run out of fire at some point if the Activision Blizzard developers wouldn't keep running with a bucket of gasoline every time we're about to start.
And speaking of fire, Angel, fire away.
So,
Hit me with your best shot.
in the legendary words of Billy Mays,
But wait, there's more.
Activision Blizzard is facing a labor practice suit about unfair practices alleging working intimidation and union busting.
Holy shit!
That's right. That's right. We're not even talking about the same problem with all the sexual harassment and the woman that killed herself. We're talking about a completely different set of problems that came out too.
They reported this shit in the Washington Post of all things. Do you know what fucking stupid it is? If your garbage, if your dirty laundry is making it to the Post,
Listen,
you're in trouble.
we are very quickly going from oopsie, I left the food in the oven problem to the world court is now in session problem.
Nathan Grayson over at Washington Post gave the article. I don't know if that's the same one you're reading.
I'm
but
using the one from the PC Games Work Department. They are
go
a
right
little-
ahead, Angel.
Go on, Angel.
A major US-based workers union has filed an unfair labor practice charges against Activision Blizzard for alleged worker intimidation and union busting. Communication between workers of the America official revealed the news of press release explaining that the move is in support of game developers at the Activision Blizzard King. The CWA claims that Activision Blizzard the management team is using coercive tactics in an attempt to prevent employers from exercising their rights to stand together and demand a more equitable, sustainable, and diverse workplace. The union also says that their right as workers is to, organize for a professional environment free of abuse, discrimination, and sexual harassment. A right in the body notes is protected by the U.S. federal labor law, and apparently the guys at the Blizzard department never fucking read it. So,
Watch her knock that off.
we are inspired by the bravery
No,
of
I'm a-
industry workers, and
sorry.
will always stand by the shoulder to shoulder with workers fighting harassment, assault, and discrimination. Management could have responded with humility and willingness to take necessary steps to address the horrible working conditions some workers have faced. Instead, Activision Blizzard's response to righteous worker ability was surveillance, intimidation, and hiring union busters. They literally hire people to start shit in the company to make sure the workers don't get together and work together.
Oh,
Do you know how fucking illegal that fucking is, guys? Of course, Amazon has had their union, their anti-union shit going on,
Right.
and same with Walmart over here in the U.S. Yes, our country is a capitalist hellhole, and we're trying to fix it. We're
trying really
There's
hard.
there's a lot of fucking more powerful people who kind of don't want it fixed.
Yep.
But the folks at Activision Blizzard, the employees, are trying to operate.
You just want to make a paycheck and go home, man.
Yeah, and in order to do that, they're trying to protect each other and protect themselves by unionizing without officially unionizing, in order to try to get around these motherfuckers. And Activision Blizzard's like, no, how dare you?
Yep. So, harkening back to that, the Washington Post, in the months since the Activision Blizzard employees have staged a walkout and the workers at the other major video game companies like Ubisoft are started banding together to demand more improvement to the workplace, collective action in the American video game industry is on the rise, even if unionization isn't. It is an industry known for demanding incredibly long hours from its employers as the game near the release date, a practice referred to as
what's it called?
crunch.
Crunch time. Yeah, there we go.
The topic of unionization is familiar, but unions
go.
themselves are rare. While they do exist in the gaming industry, they are mostly outside of the US. Despite a number of US-based developers believing there is a need for it, one major obstacle stands in the way. American law is way too lenient on the employer itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I was mentioning, like Amazon and Walmart, they're gigantic, and since they rake in a shitload of economy like points and shit, and they support, you know, the fucking infrastructure of their local economies and grow the country as a whole with their gross national product and all that shit. The government kind of looks at them and says, like, you know what? You guys can bend a little. Okay.
Yeah, it is too much work for us.
No, you guys make your employees piss in jars. Okay. Well, you know what? Go ahead. As long, do they get to change out the jars? Oh, they do.
Jars.
By all means.
Or they're probably
Are you
running.
providing the jars? No. Oh well, I guess that's
It's made in
unfortunate.
China. Don't worry about it.
I would have guessed that there's no humans and it's just run on autopilot.
That machines would not be that senselessly cruel, dude.
No,
The
machines would be
fucking
crueler.
the basic Matrix machinery at least give you the illusion of happiness while they put you in the pod.
That's true. That is true. You got a point there.
Oh, that's fucking terrible.
While Activision Blizzard workers have not announced any sort of push for unionizing, the company brought in Wilmer Hale to conduct a third-party investigation into the workplace issues exposed by the DFEH suit, aka union busting. CWA organizing director Tom Smith labeled Wilmer Hale a known union busting law firm. Smith said that the law firm involvement is part of the reason the labor union decided to get involved in the first place, ironically enough. What we've seen, Smith told the Post, has been the response of Activision Blizzard immediately hiring a known union busting firm law, one that Amazon has used for these purposes.
Speak of the devil.
Yep. Engaging in surveillance, including the public demonstrations and people's commentary on social media. So not even your privacy outside of the work is being protected. Systematically interrogating and interviewing people that spoken up about the treatment they received or who have been involved in organizing in the most egregious instances. Threatening discipline against workers that are exercising their legal right to organize with their co-workers about issues of mutual concern like wages, hours, and working conditions. Activision Blizzard employees and the CWA have declined to comment on the specifics of these incidents. In response to the NLRB suit, Activision Blizzard released a statement saying, "We care deeply about our employees.
Yeah, sure you do.
Motherfuck you!
And we have
Y'all let a
great
motherfucker
effort
die!"
to respect the rights of all the employer under the NLRB." Hey, what's the name of that coworker who killed herself?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Motherfuckers.
Despite accusing Activision Blizzard of union busting tactics, the collective of Activision Blizzard workers known as Better ABK say unionization is not their current goal. In a previous interview conducted before that, a different Blizzard employee said they felt that in this moment, collective action and solidarity with each other, sans union is the best available solution in a place where a lot of people are scared of the concept of unionizing because of the slew of anti-union propaganda that has pervaded the country. Such sentiments, however, are not as prevalent outside of the United States. Major studios associated with companies like EA, Paragon, Nexon, and even Ubisoft that are based in countries like Sweden, South Korea, and France have formed unions, generally with the help of larger trade unions like Unionen and Sweden and Solidaires Informatique in France. The union rep at the Massive Entertainment, the Swedish Ubisoft studio working on games like The Division or Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora. That's right, we're getting a game before a movie.
Yeah.
The non-union approach actually makes sense. Unions, they explain, are a powerful and useful tool, but they can also be slow-moving, especially when they're getting off the ground.
All right.
So, let's bring this to macro, basically, folks.
Yeah.
So these motherfuckers got caught red-handed again. This time,
so.
Trying to union bust, trying to keep their employees from, demanding like basic decency. Like, hey, can we get our money for our work?
Can you please not harass the women working at your company?
Can we please not have to piss in jars?
And their statement was nothing short of like piss poor. It was just complete BS.
We are sorry.
We're sorry.
Wow, guys.
We're sorry.
South Park was supposed to be a comedy.
It was supposed to be a comedy, not an instruction manual.
Now, in terms of unionizing, I have no doubt. Like, it's not a matter of if for them, because I know it's going to happen. But it's It's just a matter of when. How
wheels
soon?
of justice move slowly, and with a company as big as Blizzard, let's be honest, they may be falling apart, but they got money to toss. That means that unfortunately, this is going to take some time. It makes me happy that it's actually something being done. But the fact that the first thing they did was hire a union-busting firm within moments of the complaints coming to fly, that should tell you where their priorities have always.
It might take less time. We don't know.
No, it's no. Like, you don't understand. Like, if you've got your employees coming up saying, "Hey, we have a couple of concerns. We came together and we needed to let you guys know we have to ask you guys as a team XYZ." It sounds like these. All right, I will take this into consideration. Hey, these motherfuckers are trying to unionize. Come here and propagandize against them. Now. That's what they did, Zane. That's what they did. The law firm that they hired specifically specializes in, oh, hey, union's bad. Hey, it sounds like you want to do a union. Let me show you how bad it is. Oh, hey, your friends and family would be ashamed if you knew what a union is.
Then here's the question. What can the workers do to move things along?
Aside from constantly bringing these abuses to light and taking legal action, they're already doing it.
They're doing everything they can.
Happening right now. Because let's be honest, actions are more important than words. And speaking of actions, what has Blizzard done to address these horrible incidents of sexual harassment and horrors? In the newest World of Warcraft update, reduces the amount of titties that can be seen in the game. Unfortunately, not.
God!
That is stupid.
As spotted by WoW head user Archie Mintros, thank you by the way, the latest 9.1.5 Jesus Christ patch for World of Warcraft updates several in-game paintings of women to be less revealing, while many others are being removed altogether and replaced with bowls of fruit.
Oh, shut the fuck up! That's not even what the issue is. What the fuck?
The lawsuit that Blizzard has received recently about the accounts of sexual harassment, retaliation, gender pay disparity, and racial discrimination, the suit makes the company comply with workplace laws and address the wages lost. However, by some accounts, Activision Blizzard shows no sign of addressing the issues within the workplace. So instead of basically trying to look into this mess, they just went to the game, removed a bunch of paintings of women, censored a bunch of other paintings of women, and basically said, we solved the problems.
No, you didn't.
We did it, Patrick. We saw sexual harassment.
Oh my God.
Yay! All right. Obviously, it's bullshit, but we want to hear what you think. Let us know in the comments. Let us know on the chat if you're watching live your thoughts on this endless fucking bonfire that's become Activision Blizzard.
This Titanic is taking a long time to sink.
It's not sinking, my dude. It's burning. It swam over a caldera, and it's just been boiling for a long time now.
I'm going to get to the chat real quick. Billy was saying, I'm here. I notice the additional fire flames every time. Wow. Yeah, definitely. These guys are shooting themselves in the foot, and they are exploding their feet with napalm.
At this point, if they keep doing that, every one of those higher-ups are going to be on wheelchairs, but go on.
Also, Mr. Geek Me Out is on the chat. Thank you for watching us and joining us tonight. Mr. Geek Me Out, it's been a while. We miss you. Thank you very much. What do you think of Tommy Dreamer being suspended talking about Ric Flair?
Oh, we've already talked about it. It is 100% justified. He deserves to be suspended because why the fuck would you come in defense against someone
Helicopter Dick
who clearly is guilty of sexual harassment, who's clearly a fucking predator?
You would dare stand before the judgment gaze of Jim Ross and dare that you're still correct?
Because this
with God as his witness, he will break you in half.
Yeah, well, I'm saying it because who knows how many times he's done this in the past. This is the only one time that has been recorded.
This is the time that he got
Not
caught
wrong.
on video, basically.
Yes. So
in 4K.
Tommy Dreamer being suspended, he deserved it. He really should have watched what he said.
Yeah.
And
More to the point, he should have been more thoughtful. Like, okay, yeah, like he was trying to play it off as a prank. Like it's just a rib, whatever.
No, bro.
As
No.
we stated
You want to
before,
do that to a guy, a friend who's a wrestler, and you want to corner him maybe and see how far that takes you.
Would you like
Sure,
the
you could
giant
call that a
hands
prank,
the giant hands of Triple H around your dick.
but you don't do that to some random lady who doesn't know you, who doesn't know that you do that as a joke to people. Hey, come grab this. It's the penis of the champion. Woo!
There's a
No,
very key difference
motherfucker.
between the boys being boys and the boys going to jail. There is a time and a place for the dick party. That was not the time or the place for the dick party.
Yes, so in our humble opinion, yes, Anthem Studios and Impact Wrestling, they made the right call.
No, they did
Fucking
the right
works.
call. So we addressed that. And yeah, and no, it appears that Blizzard has basically gone the route of the of the Jim Ross, because this is their solution to a fucking lawsuit about sexual harassment, an actual death in the workplace, an actual death out of the workplace, union busting, anti-worker rules, horrible hours, and still delivering a shitty subpar product. There's a reason Final Fantasy XIV is beating your asses.
Jesus, man.
They need a Jim Ross over there at Activision Blizzard.
You need stern Southern gentlemen in a big black hat to tell you you're doing stupid shit.
Yeah, I tell you to sit your ass down.
Sit your ass down.
Give us all a break.
Thank you for that.
That being said, God, man, talking about all this bad shit, like, I'm sorry, man. I think we need a palate cleanser, you know?
Do you have good news,
we have
please?
I
trolling.
have, oh, what trolling?
Well, we have some trolling here.
Oh God.
Because I was going to bring up something, but you go, you
This is gonna
No,
be
this is the
really
last
quick.
thing. Come on.
This is going to be really nice and quick. Trust me, you'll be able to bring your thing right after. As you know, Halo Infinite is undergoing delays.
Again.
Many delays.
Is this a
Again.
new article?
No,
Again.
a producer from the Arc Forge is developing their own game, and they said that the first thing that they're putting there is the level editor, specifically because of all the complaints about Halo Infinite. Also, China is banning effeminate men
That has nothing to do with Halo.
in video games.
And it does have to do with video games.
So
Okay.
yeah, as you know, recently China has gone on a crusade against video games to protect the youth from
The horrible-
spiritual opium. And apparently,
At first, they were trying to limit kids to playing only 3 hours a week of online games.
yeah.
So clearly, that's not fucking flying with any of
So
the.
now they decided to go the extra mile, and they're trying to go and censor effeminate-looking dudes in video games. To
Bye,
protect the
Raiden.
youth. No!
Ah.
He looks more grown up now that he replaced his entire lower jaw with fucking steel.
Bro, he is still...
You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
no! But that's too demonic and voodoo-ish imagery that
It's
they don't like in
inappropriate.
China.
Think of the children.
Here's the best
They don't
part.
like skull imagery or devil imagery in fucking China over there.
He's
So
disrespectful against the dead. Now watch me kill my daughter because I need a son.
pretty much.
Oh, and speaking of which, you know what? I think this may have something to do with the fact that K-pop, and let's be honest, China and Korea do not get fucking along. Has
South
been
Korea.
increasing in popularity to an insane degree, and something tells me all the Chinese kids are listening to K-pop right now. And all those effeminate, beautiful-looking men and beautiful-looking women are starting to make them think a certain kind of way.
Oh, man.
I'm not saying this has to do with blood purity. I'm heavily implying that China is kind of fucked up.
China is kind of
So,
fucked up.
Joe,
My mind's telling me no.
but my body
My body's
is
telling me yes.
All right.
Apparently, there's a great sexual awakening happening in China, and they're trying to curb that by banning
Don't be-
feminine-looking guys.
Don't be silly, Chinese government. Don't you know you can't stop the horny?
God
Now,
damn it!
What I
Or
was
what's
going to
your
bring
thing?
up, it's
Go
just
ahead.
sort of minor, not that big, but it's actually pretty awesome. So,
Hey, shoot ahead, brother.
A high note, please give me a high note.
no. A YouTube duo, a pair, actually found $100,000 of vintage video games over in a hoarder's abandoned house. This was reported in Kotaku on Thursday by Isaiah Colbert. Now, let's see
Why
here.
don't I trust this stuff?
I know.
On
But
one hand is Kotaku. On the other hand, they are not actually in there, so we can believe it.
yeah, like here's the thing. All right, a pair of YouTuber game hunters found themselves in an extremely messy room that had been locked for close for 20 years.
Jesus.
Amid the filth, they found a treasure trove of factory-sealed video games, including
Factory sealed.
mainstream hits like The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker.
Wow.
Let's see, cult classics like Drakengard for the PlayStation 2.
Oh my god.
And a limited edition Resident Evil 4 chainsaw controller.
Okay, first off,
What?
playing with that thing
The
was
f-
bullshit, but that was a quite a collectibles item.
The YouTube duo are identified as Amy and Corbin. They run a channel that's called Cheap Finds Gold Mines.
I'll say, holy shit.
Holy shit!
That
Yeah.
is very impressive. Also, the fact that these were factory sealed. This person got those games and they
Never
touched-
played them, never touched them.
Please don't hoard your shit. It's
That's
bad
not
for you.
blasphemous at all.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. They usually make their finds through Goodwills and yard sales, but a viewer tipped off about a house that was kind of nasty, and so they recorded it on one of their latest videos here, which is called "Everything Is Sealed: Extreme Hoarder Part 2." It's available on YouTube. So
Obviously.
Fun
Yeah.
fact, I went to a hoarder's house once when I was helping a friend at my previous job move. I got several pairs of sweaters out of that.
Holy shit.
now, just to give a brief description of the place they went through, their second video, which is embedded above, is not for the faint of heart.
Not shit.
Yeah, for all intents and purposes, has no walkable space on the inside. Any trace of it is littered with ceiling debris and cardboard boxes, warped by time and infested with cockroaches. Yeah.
No!
And
no.
Yeah.
To the no.
Hail to the nah. Hail to the nah. To the nah. Listen, man, I left Cuba because I wanted to get away from the road.
there were
Why do you think I feel? I can never get away.
there were other games scattered about the house among the cockroaches and ceiling decay, but the pair were mostly only interested in factory sealed finds. So they passed by. They made exceptions for gems like a Tumba for the PlayStation 1.
Oh, Jesus.
And they also weirdly found the PlayStation 3 port of Bayonetta.
Wow. That's a goddamn
Oh
relic
my
now.
god.
It's been
Yeah.
almost 11 years.
It's okay. It's out there. They're working on Bayonetta 3. It's all right.
I know.
We just have to wait.
We have it prepared. Can you show us
Holy
something?
They
shit.
also found like tons of like PlayStation 2, Xbox 360, and Nintendo GameCube games, including a shout out here for F-Zero GX, as well as stacks of Game Informer magazines.
Now, those
Holy
I used
shit.
to hoard myself before I threw them all away. Man, like what happened to this person? Why did they just leave everything behind like that?
More to the point, why the hell would they buy all this shit and not play any of it?
Because they're hoarders. It's a psychological
God.
compulsion. It's literally bad for you.
You're
Please
not
don't
wrong.
hoard shit.
You're not wrong.
But man, $100,000 worth of video games.
Okay, so what are they
Or
going to
get
do
the
with it? Are
money.
they donate?
Well, most likely they'll keep some of it, sell some of it, donate most of it.
Well, I think
I
that
hope they keep the Resident Evil 4 controller.
yeah,
That'd be so much fun.
yeah. The total value of all the games they found is $100,000, which they took home $20,000 of after splitting the fines with 8 other resellers.
Wow.
Holy shit.
Damn, that's amazing.
This is fucking, that is cool.
Well, thank you for giving us a bit of a palate cleanser in between all the horrible news that we received. But unfortunately,
Oh,
that's
wait.
what I have to say about it.
Oh, actually, hang on. There's a little bit more info about the
But
house.
wait, there's more.
Hang
Oh
on.
no.
At the end of the second video, a woman named Stephanie provides context about the house
Oh,
and
good.
why it had so many video games in it. The property belongs to her uncle and has been in the family house since 1965.
Cheese
Holy shit.
delivery.
Oh, K-Storm has brought us cheese.
Cheese delivery for the 2 non-lactose intolerant members of the flock.
Yay,
Thank you, K-Storm.
cheese.
Love you, honey.
Yay.
That's gonna be a dinner.
Yay.
But yeah, the property belonged to her uncle, has been in the house since 1965. When the uncle fell ill in 2019, she helped him move out.
Oh, and he just left everything there.
Holy shit.
Yep. Corbin told Kotaku that the house and everything in it were going to be demolished, with all of its contents going to the dump.
Jesus.
So
Imagine all of that just getting thrown away.
All that culture wasted.
pretty much, man. Jesus, man. And yeah, good on them for saving those video games.
I am happy that they got it back. Congratulations.
So,
But also, what
some
the
good news.
fuck? Oh, speaking of which, though,
1965.
since we have a Switch and a classic controller, I plan to get you guys the Bayonetta collection.
Oh, well, that's nice, man. I appreciate
My
it.
ningen.
Moment.
My human.
But yeah, you must have had a bolt of nostalgia when you heard me say the PlayStation 3 port of Bayonetta.
God, that game ran like shit on the PS3.
Oh,
It runs beautiful on PS4.
oh, I have no doubt.
Of course.
Because the way I see it is, one of the first Let's Plays we ever did was Bayonetta 1. We might as well do Bayonetta 2 once we're done with Persona.
Of course.
Yes,
That's
I
something we
agree.
can look into.
Ow.
Hey, man. And that's pretty much all that we have right now. And like I said, every week there's always some news cooking
Some
up in the
bullshit is
nerd
always
community.
happening.
Some bullshit is always happening. And yes, we will continue to sit down here every Saturday night and talk about all these things and open the floor to speak with all of you, because it's not just us that have opinions. I'm sure you guys have something to say as well.
Ours just happen to be, as the kids say, based as fuck.
Yes,
Apparently.
indeed. And this, everything that we're doing here is all part of our mission. Well, it's all part of our objective to make your voice our mission. There, I had to see. I caught myself there.
Good.
Kind of.
Kind of.
And with that, we have come to the conclusion of our episode of the Ravens Flock. We are sincerely thankful for all the time you spend listening to a bunch of nerds ramble and scream very, very loudly on this microphone.
Oh my
$100,000. Anyways,
Helicopter dick.
yeah, you know what? Oh yeah, no. And
That
you know,
image just
What a
burned
roller
my head
coaster
for
this episode has been.
yes, indeed. But don't worry, we've got yummy dinner ahead of us. So Juancho, plug us away.
Thank you very much for watching this week's live stream edition of the Ravens Flock, hosted by Jose Casabona, Angel Mendez, and yours truly, Juan Arouse, as we recount this week's news in the world of the geek community, cosplay convention and anime conventions, animes, movies, TV shows, comics, manga, everything, video games, everything in between.
Wrestling.
Lots of
Yes!
pro wrestling to satisfy
Because
this
they're
guy's boner.
nerds in wrestling, and nerds like wrestling too.
It's
And we
fun.
invite you every Saturday night at 7:30 Eastern Time to join us as we simulcast live on Twitch and YouTube. Don't forget, if you're a first-time viewer, welcome to the Ravens Flock. We invite you to like and subscribe. Hit the subscribe button and the notification bell directly under Angel's left knee. And we, of course, invite you, as always, to continue to follow us on Facebook.com/The Ravens Flock, Twitter.com/RavensFlock13, Instagram.com/The Ravens Flock Online, Twitch.tv/The Ravens Flock Online, and of course, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell on our flagship platform, YouTube.com/The Ravens Flock, home of the Black Files, Los Amigos Play, Wrestle Rewind, and The Ravens Flock.
All right, folks. Thank you very much for tuning in on another exciting edition of our flagship show. Nerds watching all over the internet. We are the Ravens Flock, and we are out.